Hello and good morning. What is today? I think my days are a little confused. I think today is, well, I know it's the 10th, and we are on a Tuesday, so that means we made it past Monday. So, all good stuff, right? Mark, welcome. Hope your week is going well. Hope your Tuesday is going well. And I was curious, I haven't even counted up, I haven't really kept track of it, but I was kind of curious when I started this show. I was like, I wonder what number this is. I think I've topped about 60 episodes so far, but I'm not totally sure. But I'll probably have to look that up so I can at least show that somewhere at some point. Today, you guys you're going to be getting kind of a twofold show. And the first thing that I want to discuss with you is we're going to talk about love versus attachment, and how and why that affects certain people, especially very highly sensitive people it can affect. And after I go through that, I'm going to flip over a little bit and we're going to actually talk about the aspect of friendship versus romance. So you're getting two different aspects in today's show. But first, let's dive into the love versus attachment. Now, sensitive people are not only vulnerable to sensory stimulation in their environment, but to other people as well. So we often absorb other people's feelings and moods, and we can become easily absorbed into their way of life, their beliefs, and consequently, well, the way they feel about ourselves. And if that someone is a narcissist, well, it can become very difficult to separate ourselves from them. We become their prey, but we don't realize it until it's too late. And instead, we think that we're falling in love. Now, when these two elements, sensory stress and other people, are combined, it can become a very toxic situation. For example, if you've just moved to a new town or started a new job, you're going to feel overwhelmed by the newness. Your environment's changed. And a big life change is stressful for anybody. But high sensory people feel it intensely. And that person under stress is vulnerable to the influences, good or bad, of other people. Say you've just started a new job in a new town, and you meet this guy or girl. In this case, we'll use an example that you're a woman, you meet this great guy, and he's friendly, funny, wants to help. He shows you a reliable place to get your car serviced, and he invites you out for drinks after work with colleagues. He even helps you assemble your new flat pack furniture or whatever. He provides all the help, all that companionship that you could ever want. And more importantly, in that moment that you need. He also makes you laugh and tells you how great you are, how he's been waiting for you all of his life, yada yada. And you feel appreciated, flattered, relieved to have found someone that you can rely on, and you feel loved. And again, remember, this is that scope where you're in a new place anyway. You don't know many people. You're starting out. It's a new chapter. And welcome, Elizabeth. Glad to see you. I am in the cusp right now of you're getting a two-part show today. And right now we're talking about love versus attachment. So, in this example, you start a relationship with this person, but soon other people are wondering what you two see in each other. I mean, you don't even have much in common, but you feel that you have a real connection. So you stay, even when this person makes more and more demands of you, even when they start making you feel bad about yourself. No matter how bad it gets, you stay, because the thought of losing them is terrifying. The truth is that the only thing you really have in common is a terrible loneliness, a need for someone to be there, and the need to feel that someone cares. And oftentimes as well, this person can dissuade your efforts to improve or change your situation, as it would remove you from their life. This is attachment. Attachment is a need for someone to fill a void in your life or in your self-esteem. When you feel that you're all alone and you cannot rely on yourself, someone will come along and you'll feel that they are a part, they're kind of a port in the storm. someone to talk to, someone to help you, to hold you, someone to hang on to. And remember, love is not a need. Love is not demanding or desperate. Love is whole and wholly giving. The trouble is that our subconscious mind will draw us to someone who resembles our subconscious beliefs about ourselves. So if you're in a state of stress or vulnerability, however well you feel that you're coping, if you subconsciously believe that you need help or that you can't really manage, or rely on your own, or that deep down you're not really good enough, you will attract people who also believe that about themselves and about you. And you won't realize that it's a bad situation to be in because it's going to seem familiar to you. You will recognize yourself in them, and that will become comforting. And so you'll want to stay. Any port seems a welcome place in a storm. However, that doesn't mean you have to stay. You don't even have to drop anchor. Just keep moving. You got to remember that you will be okay out there on your own. You will weather the storm. And when you come through it, you will meet people who have also weathered their own storms. And then you can face life together, knowing you have found someone that you can truly count on and truly love, and someone who truly loves you. So we go through modes, we go through these places sometimes in our life, or we get into a gamut where we start questioning ourselves. And we want to attach to something where sometimes being in that mode, you start to overlook the unhealthy. You start to overlook your own position and where you are and who you are. And that's the point here, is we don't want to attach to the wrong thing. We want to allow ourselves to be in a more natural state when it comes to meeting people, when it comes to dating and forming our relationships. We want to make sure that that's done in the healthy dynamic. Now I'm going to flip gears with you for a little bit. We're going to talk about now the aspects of friendship, versus romance. And when we look at both of those things, both have so many things in common that it can be hard to judge, right? I mean, being friends is an important part of any healthy and happy romantic relationship. You're supposed to marry your best friend, right? But is being friends actually enough? How do you know if your feelings towards someone are truly romantic, or if perhaps your relationship would actually thrive best as a platonic friendship? Where's the line between friendship and love? Should you be friends or a couple? Which relationship would actually serve each of you the best? You got to remember that we live in a society right now that a lot of people are out there they're grasping at anything and everything just to avoid being in that status of, I'm alone. I don't have anybody. So we'll just latch on. And sometimes people are latching on and they're trying to form these relationships. There's not even a friendship there. And you got to think about terms of, we want to have a foundation. You got to have a foundation for friendship, for romantic relationship, all of that. You need a solid foundation of something to go off of, But let's lay out some factors that people often associate with romantic relationships, but are just as important in friendships, which is why it makes certain things very hard to judge. But let's look at attraction. Look, feeling drawn towards someone is powerful, but not definitely a sign of romantic potential. Mutual attraction is central to friendships. Long-term friends display many of the emotional experiences of longing for and missing that attraction, not so unlike the link between romantic partners. And then we have intimacy. Closeness matters in romantic relationships, certainly, but it matters in friendships as well. Intimacy is gained through self-disclosure. When people share their feelings, reactions, and concerns with a trusted and responsive friend, they build a closeness that help sustain that relationship. Then there's respect. Healthy romantic partnerships are grounded in mutual respect, but so too are friendships. The feelings of admiration that you might have for someone do not, in and of themselves, mean you're well suited for a romantic relationship. Having friends you admire is a wonderful way to grow and learn, and their respect for you can prove beneficial as well, right? And then there's support. Offering support is the job of both friends and romantic partners. Such support fosters individuals' ability to thrive and is naturally a highly valued component of a close friendship. And both friends and romantic partners can contribute to your well-being by providing social support. And then there's pleasure. Having fun together, enjoying each other's company, characterizes both friendships and romantic partnerships. So just because you like spending time with someone or like someone's sense of humor doesn't mean that you're on the path towards romance, though it could mean that you have a great foundation for a friendship. So you can see all of those different components. Well, unless it's really kept in a way of a clear understanding from those things, it can be very confusing. And we start to think things are part of a relationship that really aren't. And a lot of times when that happens, it's a one-sided situation. So where do romantic relationships diverge from friendships? Well, beyond the sexual component, which is generally a defining feature of romantic relationships and absent from most friendships, one reason, quote unquote, the friends with benefits situation are often a source of confusion. And there are other aspects that can clarify whether two people are well suited to be joined as romantic partners, not just as friends. And then we look at, let's add this into the mix here. Shared goals. Well, romantic partners differ from friends in the extent to which their future paths are aligned. They tend to be inclined towards a similar future and later define with each other a set of shared future expectations that each is able to commit to. For example, compatible views on religion, gender roles, having kids or not, financial habits, etc. And these shared perspectives are not prerequisites for friendships, but make a big difference in romantic relationships. And then we have time and attention. Well, romantic relationships trump friendships when it comes to time spent together and attention paid to each other. This is in many ways a cognitive, affective component of a partnership, meaning people decide to focus on each other and feel comfortable with the level of attention given and received. When one person is ready to give their time and attention while the other is not, it could be a recipe for a very unbalanced and unsatisfying romantic relationship. Then we have the interdependence. Now, it's been stated that one defining feature of romantic relationship is their potential degree of interdependence. And yes, friends depend on each other, but the lives of romantic partners tend to be netted together. When developing a romantic relationship, individuals become increasingly reliant on each other. And this is considered a healthy progression from a me and a you to an us and a we. The depth and richness of romantic interdependence differentiates it from friendships. That's what kind of breaks those apart. Then we have positive illusions. In healthy romantic relationships, individuals are enchanted by their partners. They hold heightened views of the partner in terms of his or her own behaviors, skills, attitude, perceptions. This list goes on. But such illusions are healthy and help define romantic relationships versus friendships, as we tend to have more grounded views of our friends. Now, see, I like that one because positive illusions. Now, see, a lot of people be like, "Well, I don't want to live in an illusion." No, it's the aspect where you constantly are seeking the better in your partner. You seek those elevation points in your partner because that's your person, that's your romantic connection, and you want the same thing of them doing that to you. That's what keeps you set apart. You want to be set apart. Then we have influence. Now, sure, our friends influence us. That's a fact, affecting our goals, preferences, and perspectives. But our romantic partners have a much stronger pull on who we are. People actually incorporate their romantic partners into their own sense of self. People's self definitions include their romantic partners much less so than their friends. You know. And then lastly on this point is commitment. This is often overlooked. The role of commitment is arguably the most important factor in deciding whether a relationship would be a friendship or a romantic partnership. The decision to be in a romantic relationship predicts stability, and it reflects an intentional choice to work on creating a romantic partnership. So, in closing on that, deciding the future of a relationship is a weighing of cost, benefit, alternative options, expectations, and investments already made into a partnership. But such weighing should reflect an appreciation for the work that goes into maintaining a partnership. And while many friends could be, well, good partners, it is a decision and commitment towards a life with someone that promotes relationship success. We have to be in a place that we really look at the long term sometimes. I can't tell you how many people. I mean, I can speak from my own life. Okay, I've got people that have been really close friends years back, and then but we drift apart. Now, are they still friends? Absolutely. I can I can call them up. Hey, how are you doing? That kind of thing. But it's like we might talk once every 6 months. Might even go. There's some friends that I mean we were very close friends. I speak to them maybe once a year. So, and then after that, I've got my other friends that they're right there. Like I speak to them almost on a daily basis. I know their dirty laundry, they know mine. And so we have forged a foundation of that friendship. And I know what's invested there, and so do they. See, and then I've been in the romantic relationships where it was not reciprocal. There wasn't the same foundation from both ends. There wasn't the same vision and goals. And what did that mean? Am I going to force that into being? No, you can't force it into being because there was nothing there. It was not a mutual. It was not a mutual understanding. It was not a mutual investment. And that's the problem that a lot of us face today, especially with just our friendships. There's not a mutual investment. There's not that shared understanding. I mean, hell, I see a lot of people that, oh, yeah, that's my best friend. But the person they're saying that that's her best friend, there's no respect. There's no support. There's nothing that's screaming like, oh my God, they're really tight. That's a great friendship right there. No, it's like very uneven. It's usually not a give and take. It's a give, on your end. That's not healthy. That's not a healthy dynamic. And then we get stuck in that gambit where, oh yeah, you keep Susie along for the ride just because she's been a friend for just so long. But Susie doesn't do a damn thing for you. And honestly, you probably aren't doing that much for Susie either, but now it's just a time thing. We just hold on to it or attach to it just because, well, they've just been a constant. We need to make that choice. We have to decide. We have to decide our relationships. You have to decide, like, what's really in your heart? What's really in your mind? What are you really feeling towards this? And are you holding on to people just so you have people, just so you can say that you have people in your circle? Let's don't do that. I want valuable people. I want reciprocal people in my world. And too many times people think they can trust somebody and they go and air their dirty laundry or whatever's going on, and it's not healthy because guess what? This person is probably not one of the long term friendships. These are the people that are going to turn around and talk behind your back. These are the people that are going to gossip about you. These are the people that are going to, not really be there to support you when you're going through your stuff. But you better believe they're going to expect that you're going to be there when they're going through theirs. See? Get balanced. Know your friendships and know your romantic partnerships. Know that there's a vast difference between the two, and don't confuse them. And as I shared at the beginning, when I was talking about love versus attachment, when that goes along where we attach to the wrong thing, we attach to the wrong energy, we attach to somebody that does not have the right positioning towards you that you do towards them. Or if you're in a situation where you think that they're there just, oh, they're just flooding the light and filling you with everything you need and want, well, you better make sure you know their motives, and make sure that their motives are pure. Make sure their motives are happy and positive and healthy. It's just about, and I talk about this topic a lot. I talk about different aspects of this topic a lot, but in this, it really does come down to me stressing to you, look at your world, look at your circle, look at your friends. If you have a romantic person, look at them. Really look. Make sure you're seeing the differences between all these people, and you know why there's those differences, and that you're not holding on to negativity and toxic just because. Because just because is not really a good answer in this equation. I don't want to be somebody just because, and you can't really elaborate past that point. Make sure you can elaborate, especially if it's somebody that you're going to tie your future and your life to. I hope this has helped you guys today. I hope you've been able to pull something from this. I have some really cool shows coming up for the rest of this week, so definitely join me 11:30 a.m. right here. And until next time, I hope that you have a blessed, amazing rest of your Tuesday. Hope your week is going awesome. It's always great to see you guys. And until tomorrow, be happy, be healthy.